Rayners Racing League F2. This is rounds 7 and 8 at Monaco, Monte Carlo, Circuit de Monaco. So we are doing a full 30-minute qualifying, and we can see there is a couple of cars out. Let's see if we can jump on board with any of them. It's not showing which cars are up. As you can see, there is a few cars, and we've got Correct Savant, who is our first driver out. Let's jump and throw the full map out so we can see how to get going. Let's just take a few moments here, so we can just like to see the circuit itself. We can see that it's quite bright and sunny today, so it's going to be a good race. Bear with me while I do get the stream up and going. We'll get the stream into Discord. So today we've got Quad Duty, Drew, Apex, Rayners, Shiftmeister, Ben Carter, Nismo, Liam, LH, Cairo, DB, Evil Hunter, Green Ace, Correct Savant and Magnus joining us today in the race. So bear with me while I do find LH is can't comment saying rain in sprint race. So this is a juggle of the two, so you're going to have to kind of like work out what is the best setup for you, whether you're going to go for the higher downforce to compensate for the sprint race, or whether you're going to try to go for the dry setup ready for the feature race, which does give you the most points. So it would be beneficial for these drivers to go for the bigger points. So what I'm just going to do now, I'll just bear with me one moment. As I just copy the link, get it sent into Discord so we can get all the other drivers on board with us to share some comments. And hopefully we get a few guys popping up. Bear with me while I just throw in the Discord. We have got right now Correct Savant, who's about to put in the post time up. Let's see what he's going for, and that's a 1:23.3, a very respectable time there. So let's see who's next to go. We've got DB with a 1:25.7. So the stream is now being put into the Discord. I do apologise if I got the rounds numbers wrong, but I do believe this is the 4th venue, so it will be the So here we go. Let's see. So Carter's actually put a purple sector in sector 2 there. We've got times from Carter of 1:23.6 and Shipmeister 1:26.7. Got a couple of people now just jumped on board with the Extreme, and we do have a driver who's jumped out the way by the looks of it. I think it is DB who's actually pulled over to the side, basically allowing other cars to go past. We've got Nismo and Liam who are on fast laps. So Liam's has invalidated that lap, so he's going to have to warm up those tyres, recharge that battery, just get everything set ready to go again. And let's see how Nismo does going around this lap right now. Nismo puts himself provisional third of 1:24.1. So these times at the moment are I'd say a bit of time about the right times that we were expecting at this moment. Obviously, drivers need to get out a bit more, get more time, and Carter with a new time of 1:22.4. Fantastic time there by Carter. We are waiting for drivers such as Good Duty, Rayners, LH. LH being a champion from last season can show a good pace here. We've got Magnus as well, who can produce a good time if his wheel's not broken, or he can't, and he stays away from the wall basically. Let's have a look and see if there's any. Right, so guys, if you're listening, just give us a little bit what you think, what you like about the track, what you don't like about the track, and what we'll do, we'll find the next driver to be doing a fast lap, and we'll jump on board with them in a moment. So the qualifying session is half an hour long. It is a decent amount of time to give all the drivers plenty of time to get out there. A lot more time than what you get for Q1. We do have another driver about to come out. Let's go jump on with Drew. Drew at the moment is on an out lap. I will jump on board with him through his fast lap, speaking about the circuit and what it's about. So there is a lot of corners to go through. With this being an old circuit, does show that the corners actually do have proper names. So I'll go through them as well. A few little facts about the circuit if there's any time. If it's gone a bit quiet, let's say. So the circuit is 2.074 miles long, or 3.33 kilometers. It has it's built up of 19 official turns. I say official because there are a couple of like turn 11 is actually a double turn. It's at the end of the chicane, so it could be classed as 2 turns. And turn 9 is not really a turn, and neither is turn 2. So kind of like, you've got to kind of judge that for yourself. So it is 19 turns officially. That's 11 to the right and 8 to the left. It has got the slowest corner, which is the Grand Hotel hairpin. It's the slowest corner in the F1 calendar, and also the F2. So here we go. We're jumping on board with Drew, and let's have an open view of that. So he's invalidated the lap, but we'll still go around. So he's just gone round Sante Devote, and he's got this little kink here is actually called Beau Rivage. And turn 3 here is Masonette, and then this is Casino, and this little part here is actually classed as is called Casino Square. The casino on the right hand side of that corner there. Then we come into the Mirabelle Hot, which is just basically means the higher ground, and then we've got the Grand Hotel hairpin, as I said, the slowest corner in the calendar. Then here we go, down here is Mirabelle Basse, which just means the lower level, and then onto Portier, which is just a fancy name for going into the port. And now into turn 9, which is just called Tunnel. Now the tunnel here has been extended over the years, so in the original it was quite short, but we'll come into that later on. And then into the Nouvelle Chicane. The Nouvelle Chicane was added in 1986, but before that it was the Chicane de Port, and we'll go into that again later. Onto turn 12, which is Tabac. Onto 13, 14, 15 and 16, which is the Piscine, which also just means pool section. But the 13 is called Louis Chiron, and we'll go to him a little bit later on again. And then on to Lara Crosse, which is turn 17. On to 18 and 19, which is called Anthony Nose. Now, if you know your F1 history, and you know you can take out the history of the circuit, you will understand how much of a big deal it is for some of these names. So that is the full circuit there. I'll just jump back onto the spectator view and see if there's any more other drivers on a fast lap. We've got Cairo, who's also on a fast lap, but Cairo is coming up. Let's see how he does. Cairo jumps into provisional second with a 1:23.0. Now, as I said about the corners, the Nouvelle Chicane was introduced in 1986. Before that, with the Chicane de Port, it was actually a lot faster. So the drivers there was able to get a lot of speed. The chicanes were added as part of the whole slowing down after 2 major incidents over the years. One being the 1959 crash where Alberto Ascari put his vehicle into the harbour, and there's also one from Paul Hawkins 10 years later, done exactly the same thing. Unfortunately, his was actually fatal. So a little bit of history about the accident and why there is a chicane through the tunnel. Back in 1929, all this was actually waterfront. So there was hardly any tunnel, it was right onto the sea. So it was a spectacular place to actually watch on. Let's jump back onto Drew because he is the only other driver that is on the fast lap. Let's see how it does. And he jumps into 1:22.5, so puts himself in second there, very close to Carter. Times are a bit stretchy at the moment. There is over 4 seconds between the drivers right now, which means that there has got some improvements from lower drivers, but also that we've got more drivers to come out to fill in the gaps or even take it a bit quicker. So we are just waiting to see what other drivers do. I can see that we have 3 drivers on circuit at the moment. We've got Correct Savant and Nismo also coming back out. Nismo invalidated his outlap, but that doesn't really matter. Cuts that chicane there to keep give himself a bit of time. Keeps his rubber. Personally, don't think that should be allowed, but that's down to the stewards to decide whether corner cutting is allowed through outlaps or invalidated laps. Really likes hugging that wall there. And here we go, he is going to start his outlap, his fast lap, sorry. So Correct Savant now on a second flying lap. Just another little random fact for you as well. We're waiting for more drivers to come out and fill in these gaps. In 1973, when the chicane deport, also Drew with a new fastest lap of a 1:21.8. I did not see that coming. I do apologise. I wasn't on board for that. I thought he might have come into the pits after putting a decent lap, but he's put in a better lap again. Absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to throw up the lap data, because then we can actually see if he's actually making any improvements again. These tyres can go a few laps because of the way they're heated on track. No, there's no tyre blankets. It does take a bit of effort, so it could take 2 laps to get the optimum temperature. But as was going on, 1973 was the introduction to Hesketh Racing. Now, Hesketh Racing's first race was at Monaco with James Hunt as the driver. So it was James Hunt's first drive. Was F1 drive was actually at the Monaco Grand Prix. A little random fact for you there. So we do have more drivers out. No, we don't. Sorry, I do apologise. I was hoping for more drivers out. Got Nismo, who's actually made a slight improvement on his last lap, so he is up a bit more. Let's see if we got Carter back on an outlap. I'm not too sure what's going on with the other drivers, whether they're going to wait out and say go for a last minute dash, or they're going to wait until their opportune times and balance it out a little bit. Well, it seems like these drivers are taking the most of this opportunity of getting out early. Pretty much got the circuit to themselves. But Carter now sitting right behind Nismo is going to take a little bit of benefit from his toe. Oh, I think that was a slight little collision there into the wall from Carter. Has he got any damage? Yes, front wing damage, so he will have to come back in. So here we go with the let's see if is Nismo coming into the pits, or is he going for another fast lap? It looks like he's going for another lap. So he would have got a quicker time there if he didn't invalidate that lap. He would have put himself under the 1:24 time barrier. But now he's got a bit of front wing damage there, so he will have to come in the pits. And Carter with front wing damage is still out. And this could be the fact that they might be thinking about getting more time on the circuit to practice. It is one of the slower circuits of the track, so downforce is not a major issue, but you do want to have as much as you can. And we've got DB now on an out lap as well. DB is going to start his fast lap now. We've got Benjamin Cardiff, who is on an out lap as well. We'll jump on Ben Cardiff in a moment to see how well he does. So, Monica, for you viewers out there, will actually, if you've actually seen it in the past, there has been a lot of changes, especially in Sector 3. Oh, I think he's got a bit of damage there. Or has he managed to get away with it? A bit of a clip on it. He's got away with that. He didn't get any damage there, DB. But let's see how he does when he gets into at the end of Sector 2, whether he's got up or down time. Here we go. Coming up to the timeline very shortly. Again, clip the water. He has lost a part of his wing there. So this may be a dash into the pit so he gets another shot. Because we're already over halfway. Yep, that's it. DB he's going round again. I did love that camera angle there at Anthony Nose. Let's jump onto Ben Cardiff because Ben Cardiff is on a flying lap. We do have Shiftmeister on an out lap and Magnus out on an out lap. Magnus still hasn't set a time. We've got Apex who's come down onto an out lap. So this is now where the qualifying does get more interesting because these drivers are now coming out. We might be able to see some other competitive times because Drew is sitting there with over half a second to his grace. There is a huge gap. There is just under 5 seconds between the fastest time and the slowest time so far. Ben Cardiff in the Yuki Tsunoda Carlin, he has transferred over from the ART team. Even though the cars themselves are pretty much identical, Ben Cardiff has felt like the Carlin car is actually more suited to him. So he's jumped across over to the different team. And we do wish him good luck with that. So let's see how he does on the time. So far at the moment, he is looking at a 1:26.0. So he's sitting there at the bottom with Shiftmeister and DB for company at the moment. But I'm sure he can get another fast time out there because the tyres will be warming up still. Magnus is back in the pits. Let's jump on with Apex, who is about to start his fast lap in that Univitosi car. Now Univitosi is one of their teams that's very different from any other team because both drivers come from of the team come from different academies. One's a Renault Academy driver, one's a Ferrari Academy driver. So the our yellow Univitosi, sponsored by Renault. The other is red instead of yellow, sponsored by Ferrari. So that's the only difference really when it comes to those cars. Just for you viewers out there who are wondering why they are different, but that is the reason. Most of the cars, if you actually look carefully, because F2 is a self-sponsored drive, so a lot of driver teams do look for you to get your own sponsors. That's why you'll see some variations in the cars' liveries, either little bits or big bits are changed. Sponsor names will have been different, so it's quite interesting to see which cars are sponsored by who. And it looks like Apex is putting a good time. He has a purple sector 2, but that could be the fact that because this is his first attacking lap. And let's see how he does. He does have a little bit of a wiggle there for Anthony Nose. And here we go with a time of 1:21.8. Puts himself in second, and that is a close second. We've got Quad Duty out on our lap and Magnus out on our lap. I think Magnus had a bit of damage and had to dive in. Let's have a little look to see what tyres people are going for. So Correct Savant has gone for the soft tyres, where everybody else has gone for the super softs. It does mean that there's the combination of super soft tyres is an interesting one. But it would mean that like the drivers will have to balance the optimization. Alright, so we're going to jump on board with Magnus. Magnus has just come from the Mirror Boss onto Portier. He is now entering the tunnel. Let's see how well he does coming through this tunnel. Now the tunnel is one of those it's one of those sneaky corners really. It's like a long winder and it's so easy to run a bit wide because you come it comes into the chicane and you get blinded by the light. When the light hits you, you're like, whoa, wait, what's going on? And then all of a sudden you're at the chicane. So it is you have got to time that. And he's got purple sector 2. Does clip the wall a little bit, but I don't think there's any damage. I can't see any damage on that front wing. Again, brushing against that wall. Now into Razkaz. Razkaz is one of the most famous corners. Just because the name just rings bells. When you hear Razkaz, you know it's Monaco. And here we go. Let's see what the time. He does put himself in provisional pole with a 120.9. Takes off 9 tenths. Absolutely fantastic lap by Magnus. Now, but I can tell you, I reckon Magnus can get a bit more time out of that. And we've got 2 people have retired. I think one of them was actually Shiftmeister on circuit. He might have come around turn 9. He might have clipped that wall by the looks of it. On looking on our map. But that is a fantastic time by Magnus, not taking that away from the gentleman. He has actually done an outstanding lap in that car. Is it a high tech? Let me have a look. I do believe it might be a high tech, but I could be wrong. And he loses his wing, but I think he's gone into the pits anyway. Let's see who else is up. We've got Apex who's still out. Apex sitting in sitting in third, sorry, at the moment. He hasn't improved on that time. I wonder if he's going to go jump in the pits now and get a fresh set of super softs. Because time now is coming up to that point now where people have got to start thinking about coming out. I know he's going around. I think he's going to go around for another fast lap. Let's jump on board. Let's see who else is out on fast laps. Apex has actually improved. He must. I must have had the information wrong on my screen, but he has improved. He's put himself in provisional second with 121.6. Fantastic lap there, Apex. So we've got a few drivers now coming out. This is where where it's going to get really interesting because all the drivers are coming up pretty much at the same time. I'm not too sure whether that's a smart idea. When these people should have came out a little bit early. Correct Savant is back out again. So we've got Quad Duty who's out on the fast lap. As you can see, he is sporting the number 1 with a KFC livery. And if I can see that right, that's Coca-Cola on the side pod there. But even though I do know that KFC have got a contract with Pepsi, so it's a bit of a mixed bag there. And I do believe that's the dams of, but I could be wrong. I do need to get onto the team list to find out who's racing for who. So we've got Rayners who's out now on an out lap. We've got LH and Evil Hunter out on out laps. Green Ace has gone back into the pits. Hopefully he can sort himself out and get out in a fast lap. We're going to stay on board with Kujuti because Kujuti has been highlighted as one of our quicker drivers around the circuit. Earlier on today there was a bit of practice. People have checked out time trials for the drivers, and they highlighted Kujuti as one of the quick drivers. Now I did have a little stint out in a 2020 car earlier today on time trial to see how well it was, and let's say the results was a bit it was a mixed bag. I could get fast time, but I always invalidated the Vasquez because I either take the corner too sharp or took it too wide and clipped the wall inside or out. So basically did a Magnus. We've got Liam who's retired from the session. I'm not too sure what's happened to Liam, but let's see how Quad Duty does because he's coming around sector 2. So like that's it. That's up 59 seconds on that sector 1 and 2. So it does say purple sector, but that could be the fact that it's his first attacking lap. And let's see how he ends up. But he seems to be doing it a lot quicker than other drivers, and that's a 119.7. A fantastic lap time there from Quad Duty. We do have other drivers. Let's jump on board with some of those drivers at the moment. Right, so we've got Rayner, who is coming through the Mirabelle Hot. And onto the Grand Hotel. It looks it's a fantastic view. That is the best view you can get at the Grand Hotel Hairpin. It's fantastic when you see cars in train going around that corner. It's so beautiful. And he goes, and now he's entering the tunnel. As I said, the tunnel there. So if you jump on board with him, you can see how blinding that is. And you've got to get ready for the braking zone. It can come up quite quick, especially when you get into the Formula 1 cars. That does come up a lot quicker. And we can run through the times in a moment because Evil Hunter has put a 1:20.5. A little clip off the wheel on the wall there, but Rayner is still going strong. Let's see how he does. See if his time is competitive at the top end of this. And there we have it. He goes provisional third with a 1:20.6. That is quite close to Evil Hunter. Now, Quad Duty has put over half a second between himself. Other drivers that we are looking important to see how they do is LH and Green Ace, because they both haven't put any time. So Green Ace is actually on a fast lap now. Let's see how he does. Magnus has retired from the session. He's decided not to go out for another lap, or has he crashed? I think he has crashed at the Anthony Nose. Oh, a little clip of Green Ace there on the front left tire. He's lost a bit of wing, guy looks at it. Yes, he has. Does mean that understeer, especially through tobacco. The tobacco corner has been adjusted to allow a faster entry, and he's cutting a curve there. I think he's invalidated that lap. Let's see if he. Green Ace gone into the pit. I do not know if he's going to have enough time to get that repaired and back out again, but let's jump on and see who else is out. So we've got Quad Duty on a 1:19.7, Evil Hunter on a 1:20.5. We have Rayner on a 1:20.6. Let's see how he does, if he can improve in his time. Not at all there, not at all. Let's hopefully he's able to get an improvement on this lap now. We've got Magnus on a 1:20.9. Apex on an outlap at the moment on a 1:20.3, so he will be making efforts to be breaking into the top three. Drew, who's currently in the pits, which I don't know, if he comes out now, he might be able to make an outlap quick enough to actually compete. I think that might be him coming out. I don't think it is actually him. Carter is in the pits. Carter with a 1:20.4. Cairo with a 1:20.4. Got Correct Savant with a 1:23.3. Nismo 1:23.6. Ben Cardiff, who is on a flying lap at the moment on a 1:23.6. I see he is down 1 second, so he needs to put another lap in if he can. DB, who's on an outlap on the soft tyre, so it's different tyre altogether. LH on a flying lap. This is another gentleman that we do need to have a look at and see how he does, because Quad Duty now is also on an outlap, so Quad Duty is looking to seal podium, pole position. It's going to be quite an interesting race here to find out what's going on, who's going to be getting pole. It does look like it's going to be Quad Duty or LH, but some of these drivers could pull off a fantastic lap and surprise everybody. So LH and the Trident making all the efforts he can to really show what he is made of, and he's invalidated that lap. It is an outlap. Green Ace, sorry, that was Green Ace that was in Trident. I do apologise, I knocked one, and LH has invalidated that lap in the BWT. So he does have 30 seconds now to get over that line and hopefully be able to put in a fast time, otherwise he's starting at the back. But I will be completely honest, I don't think it would be such a shame if he is starting from the back. I'm sure he could battle his way back up to the front. So we've got Green Ace now on a fast lap, we've got LH on a fast lap, DB on a fast lap, Rayner on a fast lap, as well as Evil Hunter. Let's have a look. Rayner is, let's have a look, see how he does around here, because the time showing on there, oh, Rayners has decided to jump straight into the pits there. He is forfeited that lap. Let's see. Eva Hunter, he is just coming into tunnel. I'll come back to him in a moment. But all the other drivers, we've got DB, LH, Green Ace, and Eva Hunter left on circuit. Now, it is important for these drivers to actually just go straight over the line. It will save a lot of time, a lot of effort. Because that is the end of qualifying. It is quite important. And Eva Hunter is up on his time, but a narrow portion. And he's managed to cut that corner without triggering a invalidation. So whether that saved him a few precious tenths, we won't know. It could be the difference between keeping first and second. But he hasn't improved on his time. He's actually gone slower there. So let's go and jump on board with... Oh, LH. LH has gone past the line with a 1:20.2. So just under half a second. Quad Duty has pole. Unless Green Ace... Oh, Green Ace will not be able to pass because he's invalidated that lap. Unfortunate there for LH. Sorry, for Green Ace. So that is the end of qualifying. So we have Quad Duty on pole, LH in second, Eva Hunter in third, Rayner in fourth, Magnus in fifth, Apex in sixth, Vidrua in seventh, Carter in eighth, Cairo in ninth, Correct Savant in 10th, Nismo in 11th, Ben Cardiff in 12th, DB in 13th, Schiffmeister in 14th, Liam in 15th, and we've got Green Ace in 16th. No times to the bottom two drivers. So it's quite important for the drivers now to actually start thinking about the race strategy, because the race strategy is going to be different for the feature and the sprint race, because the sprint race is in the rain, as far as my information is. So it is important for those drivers to start thinking about where they're going to finish, when they finish, where they're going to be end up on the sprint race, and they had to make sure their car was set ready for a balanced dry wet setup. Bit tougher on F2 than it is on F1, because F1 you only have race once, where F2 you race twice with the same setup. You can adjust the front wing and front wing only. Minor adjustments, basically just increase or decrease the airflow channels to actually see if you can make it a bit more downforce. But it is a balancing act when you've got a sprint race and a feature race with different climates. So where's it going to be the most action? I do think the most action in Monaco is always going to be the home straight. It is going to be tough for anybody to pass anywhere else. The circuit is tight. The only reason why it is in the F1 calendar is because of what it is. It's Monaco. It is the grandest stage of them all when it comes to F1. But it does not meet racing regulations for modern FIA rules. This is the only exception of that rule is the Monaco, and we are going through a formation lap. So our drivers have got the opportunity to put as much heat as they can in those tires. They know how hard it is, and it seems to be a bit of a slow takeoff there. I think Quad Duty has left a bit slow, so even though he will be able to get back to that place, he's got to make sure he stays between those two cars and does not pass unnecessarily. But thank you, LH, for moving over and giving them the space to allow him to take that lead. Unlike any other racetrack in the world, Monaco has never had an F1 home champion. So pressure is on Charles Leclerc to actually pull something up for Ferrari over the next few years that he's there. The only fair winners from Monte winners have been Chiron back in 1931 before any championship. Coletti and Richelme both in GP2. Previously F2 was known as GP2. So for F2, that has been Monte winners. So as we got our drivers now coming through into the piscine, section. So if you didn't hear me before, it's a piscine. It just means pool in French. As you can see, you can actually see on the right hand side when they come around that double chicane. You can see the pool on the right hand side. It was not there back in 1929 when they first made it. It was basically that road from Tobacco all the way to Vasquez was a straight line. It was like a high pit, and where the pit lane is now, that's where the circuit used to be. They moved it away to give that a little bit of an edge and cut, and then they moved it back again and had a pit lane a bit in the middle. So there has been major changes between old pit lane and new pit lane, basically. So here we are, we have got our drivers all on the grid, and we're waiting for the start of the race. Let's have a look to see the tyre strategy. Tyres over big Mexican, 5 red lights are there, they're out, and away we go. And the BRT at the VWT at the back there has suffered a quad duty, still in lead, but the usual gump from it seems like a lot of our cars are ghosting. Not too sure what's happening here, as it looks like there has been a bit of an issue really with Codemasters as always. Rayner with a 3-second penalty for cutting a corner. So that's the corner at the Grand Hotel is cut, and it's absolutely bizarre that that's been cut. Absolutely bizarre. Sorry, it's bizarre that they give a penalty for that corner because it's not really cutting the corner. Tight track limits are in force here. What a view this is. It's absolutely fantastic view. It says Monaco has changed a lot over the years, and I mean, when I say a lot, it's like a hell of a lot really. The circuit has got a bit more technical over the years. There's not many straights, and there has been those elements of where they've had to add in like the chicanes to slow the traffic down at those points because of accidents. But here we go, we'll have a look down the Fairfield, and we've got Eva Hunter. Looks like he is going to try and say watch out for a mistake, if any, made by Rayner. And Rayner's sitting in third at the moment. It is critical that he holds that position at the moment and pushes. So we've got safety car. We've got a safety car already. Liam is out. He's crashed after turn 1. We had a clean first lap and Liam is crashed. With F2, you cannot serve your mandatory pit stop under a safety car or a virtual safety car. It does not allow that to happen. You also cannot pit in the first 3 laps as a mandatory pit. So you've got to make sure that you last until the 3rd lap to pit before you make your mandatory pit. So it is best interest for all our drivers to stay out. Whether the game enforces the pit rule for the under the safety car is another question, but I do know that the stewards do not take kindly to that approach. All drivers are clearly aware of that situation and have not gone into the pits. So all our drivers have got behind the safety car. Let's have a look. So we've got LH, Quad Duty, Rayner, Eva Hunter, Magnus in 5th, Drew, Carter, Apex, Cairo, Nismo in 10th, Green Ace, DB, Ben Cardiff, Shiftmeister, Correct Savant in 15th, and Liam, our unfortunate driver, who crashed out quite early on at turn 2. The top 8 drivers do get reversed for the sprint race that is following straight after this. So those drivers there will be aware that you might finish 8th here, but you will start pole in the sprint race. So you've got drivers in 9th and 10th who will be pushing for that 8th place right near the end. People in 7th and 6th could arguably drop back into that. And we got Patrick, who is sizing. This is a trip to memory lane for me. Oh, please tell us, Patrick. Patrick gets called Grandad. We've got a suspicion that he might be Magnus's Grandad, but that's something that we there's a little joke between in the Discord. So yeah, Patrick, just let us know. Oh, he won here last race. So last race he had here, he won. I don't think I was part of the Rayners Racing League team at that time, but fantastic to find out that Patrick actually won here. It was probably one of those surprise victories for a lot of drivers. They've seen Sizen up there taking the win. Yeah, keep your comments coming there, Sizen. I will read them in a moment, because I do believe the safety car will be thinking about coming in soon, because all our drivers are bunched up apart from 2 stragglers, which is Correct Savant and Shiftmeister. Now, whether Shiftmeister is aware of the official F2 rules that mandatory pits cannot be served under a safety car or a virtual safety car, or I do think that rule might have been relaxed, but that is something that I'm not too sure myself personally. I've got to double check with the admin and stewards regarding that. And Shiftmeister with a 3-second time penalty for cutting the corner. So that's, now that is something, it's a bit bizarre, because he was in the pits. He was in the pits before he got that penalty. Let's have a look and see. I got a feeling I know what happened. He's probably gone across the white line. He crossed the pit lane exit white line before the corner. Then when he's gone across, he's classed as cut the corner. That is unfortunate, but rules are rules. You've got to keep the car in between the lines to make the corner benefit you. If you cross that white line, you are then classed on the racing track, so then you have to follow the racing line around the outside. And we do have another driver jumping into the pits, which is Rayners. Rayners jumps into the pits, so I do believe that the rule of staying out the pit stop under the safety car is allowed, which Rayners is one of the admin team. And we do have Nismo, who's gone in the pits as well. Could be a smart strategy with the drivers thinking going onto the soft tyres, which is the longer lasting tyre, and make it last the whole length of the race, which is possible. It is very possible these tyres can last that length. But these drivers who have started on the soft tyre could actually battle back if there is a safety car later in the race, which is quite possible because this is Monaco and anything can happen in Monaco. So what I'll do is, like, any comments that's coming through, I will be reading them between feature race and sprint race. So keep the support coming. We'll share it with the guys when they are between the races, and we'll also see if we can get some of the guys I mentioned just give us a few comments at the end of each race to tell you how they felt the race went. So as we are waiting to see whether the safety car is in on this lap or not. As the safety car is in on this lap, so it's quite important that the guys there will warm up the tyres in these slower sections. LH really slowing down the pack to try and bunch it up together. He will be timing his exit of turn 18 perfectly to put the pedal down and get through turn 18. And we've got collisions. Eva Hunter has collided with Quad Duty, and we also had, I think it was Ben Cardiff. We have Shiftmeister colliding with Rayners. So it is all about keeping your distance. You have got plenty of space, and LH has opened up but Quad Duty is right there behind him, and they've managed to get a little gap away from Evil Hunter, but not too much because Evil Hunter is right there in the mix. Magnus is trailing a bit there. All three of the front three drivers have managed to open up a gap between themselves and the following drivers. Just have a look. There's LH has done a fantastic job there, and we've got Cairo. Cairo looks like he might be looking for a pass on Apex. As we're watching, these are the closest two drivers at the moment. Oh no, it's like all over the place, and we've got Green Age with a penalty for cutting the corner. I don't understand how people can cut that corner. It's not a corner to be cut. I just don't understand why they would get a penalty for it. Two wheels are on the track. It's just bizarre, but I think it might be the strict rules that the stewards have put in place. So we can see Rayner is making his moves happen. Rayner taking a gamble into the Nouvelle chicane, fighting his way back through the field. I think Rayner might be the one that we need to watch at the moment, because he is the one who's making the most progress. Battling back after that early pit stop, he is looking to get himself up and top, and LH puts a new time of a 1:22.8, I believe that was. And we do have a ghosted car there in front of Rayner, which is DB. And we've got a virtual safety flag, so it is Delta's all around. Delta is all around. That it would mean that the cars are going to slow right down to 60%. So you gotta add a bit of time on. These gaps will look like they're getting bigger, but they're actually not. It's just that the cars are travelling slower, so to get hit each point, it takes a little bit longer, which is why the times do increase. Drivers have got to be careful that they do not. Oh! Rayner timed the restart after the safety car absolutely excellently and pushed himself forward. Absolutely fantastic effort from Rayner. I would say that is my overtake of the day. What I know I should be watching other drivers. I really should be. I'm going to jump on with Quad Duty, because Quad Duty looks like he could be attacking LH very shortly, because these are 4 tenths between them, and I am keeping one eye on this and one eye on Rayner, and it's quite tough with one screen, but I'm going to have to flip between them. And LH has got in the pits, so that's giving Quad Duty the open door basically to go ahead. Now Quad Duty will have to make a massive gap and hope for a safety car maybe. DRS has been enabled, but Rayner is all over the back of Green Ace. Now Green Ace, being a Danish guy, is a fighter. He will he will hold that position as long as he can. But a fantastic effort by Rayner to get himself back up to the top. He's in front of LH on the pit strategy, but are those soft tyres going to last long enough after all the effort he's put in? And another move into Mirabel hot. Rayner is on fire. Absolutely outstanding moves by Rayner. And we do have a spun out Cairo, who is now having to wait to get. He's dropped down to 12th. That is basically given Rayner an open gap in front of him of 5 seconds to catch up with Apex, and Apex looks like he could be making a move onto Carter, and we've got Green Ace with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Track limits, guys, that's what it's all about. Track limits. And Quad Duty sets a new faster time of 1:22.4. Quad Duty is going to be looking for as much time as he can to make the pit happen. But my excitement is all about Rayner. What happened to Rayner? Oh no, Rayner is the one who I was watching the most, because I thought he was going to be hammering through, and somehow he has spun that at Anthony nose. Oh no way. Absolutely really gutted for Rayner, who was doing absolutely fantastic. Definitely have my overtake of the day there. Excuse me. And DB is looking for an opportunity to get past Green Ace. Now Green Ace looks like he's holding up a whole train. This could be advantageous to drivers such as LH and Rayner, who are both going to be battling in to get up through these harder points. But also, it could be an advantage to Quad Duty, because Quad Duty could use this as to build a gap in front of them to actually make the overcut be the preferred option, which with Monaco the undercut is usually the strongest way to get past someone. A fast pit, a fast outlap usually kind of seals a good undercut. An overcut is all about making up the difference, and it is really tough to make a big gap happen unless you've got a driver like Green Ace who's holding everyone back. DB is kind of give a bit of space. He is looking and waiting for the opportunity, and Correct Savant has made the move. Oh no, it's not, it's LH made the move on Correct Savant. LH is also trying to look get past DB. LH is all over the back of the DB at the moment. So LH is it's quite important for LH to actually make that happen soon. Get onto Green Ace and make that overtake happen, because Quad Duty could be thinking of a pit in the next 10 laps. So that is quite important to get past them very soon to make that make sure the overcut does not work. So just scanning down, let's see, have a look. So we've got Rayner. Rayner is making moves. He's now in 10th. Now, damage to front wing in the race is not really detrimental, but it can affect the race you're handling. So you just got to take the corners a little bit slower, especially the faster corners. You take them a little bit slower to keep yourself in control. And Green Ace with another penalty. Now Green Ace has got to be careful now, because he's starting to enter the disqualification phase. Let's have a look into the penalties to see. He's got 15 seconds, and they've all built up 3 seconds. So that's 5 penalties, and I do believe it's 8 penalties is the cut-off. But I might be wrong on that. Green Ace, you are on thin ice, my friend. Listen in and start thinking about what your next moves are. So I will be trying to jump with Rayner in between and find out what happened. At least seems like a bit of wheel to wheel between Correct Savant and Rayner, but it doesn't look like there's any damage. And Rayner has made up another place, and Rayner is going to be battling really hard to try and catch up with LH and Green Ace. So Green Ace has managed to, well, LH has managed to get past Green Ace somehow. I did miss that, and I do apologise to our fans out there who are watching this carefully. And we got Rayner, who is looking to make a pass upon Green Ace. Now let's see if he can make it through, and it doesn't take it at this moment. Well, what a view. Green Ace goes very slow for the Nouvelle chicane, and I mean, it was like very, very slow. Monte, I think he's just playing a bit cautious around that corner. Rayner with the broken wing. Oh! A little bit of an early braking from Green Ace. And Green Ace has allowed Rayner to cut through, which is fair. He did take off his wing by mistake. So there is damage to a lot of people's wings. People don't want to be pitting in Monaco, because once you pit in Monaco, you lose all that time instantly. So I am going to have a look into the leader difference. So Quad Duty has 31 seconds over LH. Pitting sooner may be the best option, because LH is gaining. Now he needs roughly about 26 seconds for a clean pit stop and in front of LH. So he has got time. He can wait a few more laps, but it's getting harder and harder, and I don't think the super softs will last this time. So Quad Duty, keep pushing, my friend. Push as far as hard as you can to make that difference. Now we do have, we're going to run through top to bottom. So we've got Quad Duty in first, followed by Eva Hunter by 5.4 seconds, then followed by Magnus by 4.1 seconds. Apex is for 14 seconds. LH was by 14. in 5th by 8. Oh, sorry, no, it's now 7.6. He is flying to catch up. Obviously, he will be catching Apex rather than Quad Duty. And so the difference between them, LH and Quad Duty, I have not got a clue until let's jump. So it's 30.8. So he is catching up with Quad Duty quite quickly. Rayner behind by 6.7 seconds. Rayners seems to be losing ground to LH, but possibly making ground to Apex. So it'd be quite important for see how in comparison to Apex. Let's see how it does. He does seem like Rayners does seem like he's slowly losing ground to Quad Duty, and we do know Apex is losing quite a bit of ground. So it does look like he's increasing his time and catching up with Apex. So we could see Rayners in 4th at some point. Fastest lap with LH with a 121.6 as well. That's fantastic. So we've got position change. Evil Hunter up 1, Magnus up 2, Apex up 2, LH down 3 so far, Rayners down 2 so far, Green Ace up 9 places, Nismo up 3, Carter down 1, Drew down 3, DB up 2, Correct Savant down 2, Cairo down 4, Benjamin Cardiff down 2, Shapemeister Liam out. Let's have a look and see who stops. People who have not yet to stop is Green Ace, DB at the lower down, Apex, Magnus, Evil Hunter, Quad Duty. So basically LH and Rayners are 1-2 on the pit strategy. And Quad Duty could still hold the lead. He has got 7 laps to go. This should be where he pits. Quad Duty should be thinking about pitting now. So it's quite important. Oh, let's change it, put it on tyres. Because everybody's on soft tyres apart from Quick Savant and Cairo. So Green Ace, DB, and Quad Duty, Evil Hunter and Magnus all need to start thinking about pitting. Quad Duty, I think he heard me because he's coming into the pits. Now this is the chance where I'm going to be jumping on board with LH. LH44, he is the guy to be beaten on this strategy. So we're keeping an eye on him. We want to see how with Quad Duty is able to get out in front of LH and where the overcut would actually work for once. And I do think Quad Duty is back out. Quad Duty is coming out the pits. Quad Duty has made it out and stick. That is a quick pit. So this is Quad Duty in the lead. He has done really well to make that pit strategy work. He had a bit of time. 26 seconds was the estimated time. But obviously his team has done a fantastic job to get him back out there ahead of LH. We've got, well, Evil Hunter still in front of Rayners. Now that is absolutely fantastic. It looks like this could be the same layout as well. We've got a safety car. A safety car of Cairo is out. Cairo is crashed out. Or at the Nouvelle Chicane, let's jump on board with someone who's going to be this Quad Duty. Can't see the mess here, but you can see it a lot of time marks. Not too sure exactly what happened there, but safety car at the Nouvelle Chicane has brought out the safety car. Oh, what a view. That was so nice to see that. That's how quick these cars are. Even though they are a lot slower than the F1 cars, they are still so quick. So this lead that Quad Duty has built after the pit strategy is going to be cut down, and we're going to have a it probably will be a 5-lap shootout, depending on how many laps this safety car stays on, because we have got 6 laps left to go. So now Quad Duty has got caught up with the safety car as our drivers go around. Slowly and surely, Rayners back in the pits. Now I would like to know if Rayners is thinking of the super soft tyre, probably get back out and battle through. but he would need a new wing. He has Rayner has gone on the super softs, so a battle for Rayner. So we could see a reenactment of his earlier onslaughting battle, where he's going slicing his way through the grid. He might be able to battle his way back up into 4th, 5th, maybe. Magnus, Evil Hunter could be the ones to actually stop him from getting a podium. I've got to say that personally myself, Rayner would be, apart from that one accident, which I'm not too sure what happened. If it wasn't for that accident, Rayner would be in first with the effort he put in. That's a nice view. That I love the helicopter views that they show on this. As you can see the swimming pool there for the pool section. Wasn't there back in 72. They actually added that the pool section in. Actually, well, it was there in 72. Sorry, it was back in the 40s when they actually decided to put the pool in there. I do apologise. Just working out my years. So another lap of safety car. So it'll pull out on the lap. We've got a few comments there. I will be reading them in a moment. Hopefully we get some explanation to what happened to some of our drivers. Now, unfortunately for us with the safety cars, it does slow the race down. It gives us a bit of time to reflect on what's just happened in this race. So key moments is Rayners' early pit. It brought the pit strategy would have worked for him if it wasn't for a nasty accident at turn 18, 19. Unsure what happened to there, but it seems like he slowed them right down and he dropped a significant amount of places. So now he has had to battle through. He's lost a couple of his wings off again with another bit of wing when he had a little collision with, I believe it was Correct Savant, I would like to say, but I might be wrong. I do apologise if I am wrong. But it was someone who tried to pass. They had to move out of the way a little, and they did clip out of the wings. And we have no mention of the safety car coming, so it looks like the safety car will be back out again. So it'll be 3 laps at the end. By the looks at 3 battling laps. I'm not too sure whether those 3 laps will be enough for Rayner to make a difference, but he can do, because he is an expert craftsman when it comes to racing these F2 cars. So LH with the older soft tyres will have a bit of a battle to keep Evil Hunter at bay. Magnus is a crafty driver. He might wait for a mistake by Evil Hunter and pounce. Now, Apex being Rayner's partner may allow Rayner past in the benefit of the team. Apex is a good driver, but Rayner is a quicker driver, so it is down to personal choice of Apex whether he's going to allow Rayner to get past. I personally would allow my teammate to go through, but a lot of drivers may not if they think they are competitive enough to battle the way through. But the grids will be reversed, so you will, at the moment, you'll be seeing DB on pole tomorrow, with Rayner, Apex, Carter, Magnus, Evil Hunter, LH, then Quad Duty following, then followed on behind that by Green Ace, Nismo, Drew, Quick Savant, Ben Cardiff. So a mixed bag of for drivers there. As you can see that I do believe Ben Cardiff might actually be in the mix of these front running drivers. Let's have a look to see where he is. Yeah, he is actually sitting right, safety car is in a nice lap, but Ben Cardiff is right behind LH and Quad Duty. So Ben Cardiff is actually a car that Evil Hunter, Magnus, Carter, Apex, Rayner have got to get past if they want to challenge the top 2. So here we go, waiting for Quad Duty to make effort. He has put the foot down, he has opened the gap already, and that gap is creasing all the time. But there is a huge gap made by these 2 front drivers, because Evil Hunter has been left standing. interesting, let's have a look, because Magnus is going to have to start thinking about a move on either Hunter if he wants to get past. A bit of a slow start from Magnus. There's been a gap increase to Carter, so Carter has got a challenge from Apex, and Rayner is allowing a bit of space for Apex to get the move done. But Rayner will be thinking about making that move sooner rather than later. So it's quite interesting this section. Let's have a look, because Apex will have the run on Carter. Is he going to make the move onto the inside? No, he doesn't. He chooses not to. It's quite important that the drivers are a bit patient and don't make a stupid mistake like a dive bomb that could cause any kind of damage to the vehicle at this critical moment of the race. Because one mistake will be punished not by just one driver but the whole pack. And Quad Duty makes does the fast lap with 121.1. This might be the moment now where Apex thinks about allowing Rayner through. Jumping on board with Rayner. As you can see, he is waiting, he is patient when it comes down to racing around Monaco. Calculated overtakes mainly from Rayner. You can see a lot going on here. Let's have a look, see if there's any more battles. I think this is the only major battle, because Correct Savant is just over a second behind him as well. So our battle is for 5th. A 3-second penalty for Rayner for multiple warnings. So Rayner set with 6-second penalty is critical, because it could drop him into 9th. And that there would mean that he would be starting in 9th next race. Quad JT with a new fast line with 121.1, just a little bit quicker than previously. And DRS has been enabled. And Carlo with a 3-second time penalty. So Apex still hounding Carter. Overtake is looking to be more and more imminent, but we're not too sure exactly when it's going to happen, because both Univitosi drivers are all over the back, and Rayner looked like he had the inside line and it had to back off. I think this might be the moment where Apex might allow Rayner past. No, he doesn't. Rayner playing a bit cautious on the last lap as well. Let's jump on to board with Quad Duty, who is coming around Razkaz. Around it goes. Magnus with a 3-second penalty. This will change everything. And Quad Duty is first, followed by LH. Eva Hunter then in second, Magnus in third. We've got Carter in 5th. Who's managed to hold up Apex for the last 3 laps. Apex and then Rayner. And Rayner managed to hold his position because DB was over 6 seconds away. Drew in 9th. Got Correct Savant in 10th. So that's our point positions. Green Ace in 11th, but that may change because we do have Nismo coming around Pacine. And Ben Cardiff in 12th. So I don't think that's going to change much with Nismo coming around a little bit slower. Has he got damage? Yeah, severe damage to his front wing. Hence the reason why he's going slow. He wants to make sure he finishes this race. And that is the end of the feature race for our F2. So we got Quad Duty led from lap 1. all the way round. Absolutely outstanding drive by Quad GT. I must give a recognition to drivers such as Rayners for that epic drive from the early pits. Unfortunately for the spin, because he would have won it. I honestly do believe he would have won it if it wasn't for that spin at turn 19. I will be speaking to him at the end of the race to see exactly what happened. Bear with me while I just bring up the chat to see what the comments are that I have missed during that race, and answer any questions that there's there. So we've got Quad Duty in first for the dams. We have LH44 BWT. We have Evil Hunter for Trident in third, Magnus in fourth for High Tech, Carter in fifth for Compost, Apex and Rayners in sixth and seventh for Univitosi. Got DB for Prima in eighth. These guys will be reversed. Okay. So sorry, I don't know who Patrick said it was like at that time he never won a race, league race before, but he had to quit due to personal races. So personal races he was not able to race with us. Where Rayners had wing damage. Okay, so got Carlo. Hey Ferret, didn't make a crash out, but I hit the wall at the corner after the tunnel. All I did was tap the wall and it took my front left off. Oh. And Patrick, you commentate translation also, right? Yes, I do commentate in other places. He would still be in P7. So we've got a Rayners Monaco. This is going to be entertaining. I do love a bit of Rayners Monaco. It changes the drivers, really. Drivers aspect. So yeah, I think that we would still be in P7 is all about the penalties I was talking about Rayners. So Patrick, yeah, he's in the other league that I do commentate on from time to time. So yeah, I do know he's in that. So it's actually quite interesting. It's a small world, I would say, in the e-sport motorsport world. So here we go. So the formation lap is now starting. Let's bring up that critical information that we like. Obviously the tyres will be wet tyres. Let's just confirm that. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to need that. I'm just going to leave it on that interface there. All's fair race long, because we've got DB in first, Rayners in second, Apex in third, Carter in fourth, Magnus in fifth, Evil Hunter in sixth, LH in seventh, pardon me, Quad Duty in eighth, Drew in ninth, Correct Savant in 10th, Green Ace in 11th, Nismo in 12th, Benjamin Cardiff in 13th, Carrot in 14th, Shiftmeister in 50th, and Liam in 16th. Quite an interesting race this is going to be, because I do not know what setups people went for, whether people compensated the dry race setup to help the wet race setup, because I don't think they can change the setups in between the races. So this is going to be a very, very interesting race indeed. So we do have a couple of naughty boys, Drew and Correct Savant, who have been sent back to the grid for probably a minor collision. And when I say minor, they probably just got enough that you could breathe on each other but not touch each other, and they get sent back to the grid for dangerous play. Formation lap is to be taken seriously, especially in the wet, and even more especially with a wet F2 race at Monaco, where grip is essential. Get those tyres up to the right temperature, and you will then find it will be a lot easier to control your vehicle, especially for corners such as turn 1, which is Santé Devote. Corners like the Masonette. Masonette is a difficult corner if you don't have the temperatures in those tyres, because you just slide and you won't be able to correct yourself ready for Casino. Casino being a slow corner, you do slow down quite a bit to get into that, so you don't really have to worry too much about the grip because you're slow enough to actually control the vehicle. But Mason, that is a quick corner, especially for Monaco. It's a very quick corner, and tobacco, or tobac as it has been changed to, because they're not allowed to advertise tobacco in any FIA race. So here we go, we're waiting for these lights. I love this view where you can see right down the grid, waiting for the lights as all the cars are set and ready. So let's go, drum roll as we're waiting for the lights. You'd hear a bands and music playing at this point because people are all excited. We'll hear the bands playing and then the cut out short just as the lights start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. They're out and away we go. The BWT at the back there again a bit slow off the mark. And Rayners has pounced. But that is fantastic move by Rayners. Rayners has made the move, and it does look like DB is a bit further down, but I think there's a bit of a issue with the timing screen again, because it's saying lap 2 when it's lap 1. We've got 15 laps of intense racing in the wet. Question is, are they going to keep the wings intact? I think Rayners has the best advantage right now. So we have Rayners in first, DB in second, Apex in third, Magnus in fourth, Carter in fifth, Evil Hunter in sixth, LH in seventh, and Quad GT in eighth so far. Duro in ninth, Niswa in 10th, Green Ace in 11th, Cairo in 12th, Correct Savant in 13th, Ben Cardiff in 14th, Shiftmeister in 15th, Liam in 16th. So not a lot of changes going on there, and it looks like that there will be a lot of battling going on the first lap as Shiftmeister has left the session. I think that might be a connection issue. I am going to see if there's anything going on in the Discord, because with the safety car out, this is basically magic for drivers such as Rayners and DB to hold off the front line. Even though Rayners did have a bit of a lead, but they do need the safety car every now and then. So DB quality race, lads. It was a very good race, a very interesting race. I do agree with you with that. And while I've got this moment, I will let you know that all our races at Rayners Racing League are sponsored by SimRacer Coin. And SimRacer Coin rewards winners of this league sim racing coins to be spent on in the future on sim racing equipment such as TV monitors, seats, steering wheels, all that kind of stuff. They are in the process of opening up contracts with such companies as Logitech and Fanatec. So it's quite important that you do put in the effort, get those races done, build up your e-currency wallet, and then you could be sitting there in a few seasons time with a nice quality bit of sim racing equipment. So all our drivers are a bit packed up here. We do have Liam, who has gone in the pit, so he's going to take a while to catch up. Got a few drivers struggling at the back. LH has dropped down and Quad GT has dropped down. I'm not too sure exactly what happened there. I think there might be in a little bit of collision with them two drivers, and they've had to jump into the pits. So drivers such as Nismo and Green Ace have been bunny hopped into a point scoring position. So it's Dro. He started in ninth. So Dro, Nismo, Green Ace, Cairo, all jumping into points positions through mistakes from Apex, Magnus, LH and Quad GT. With a wet race, there's no necessity to pit. With a F2 sprint race, there's no necessity to pit. So either way, you don't need to pit unless you've got wing damage or your tyres are on fire. So I am expecting the safety car to come in on this lap if the other drivers are managed to get close enough for them to deem it safe to do so. Safety car does work for drivers such as... Oh, LH has gone in the pits again. Ah, that's why. He's stuck on a set of soft tyres instead of a set of wets. Oh, that's going to hamper LH critically. It can basically be a knock-on effect because LH is such a strong driver that this might be the fact that people go, oh, this is our chance to capitalise on a mistake and get back up there. So I'm going to leave the point there, the position change on my screen, because that is going to be one I'm going to be judging our drivers of the day on. Last race I was going to give it to Rayner if he managed to hold off that long thing, but I would give it to Quad Duty for that race because he just led from that one. Absolutely fantastic drive. Doesn't get recognised by Codemasters. Codemasters goes by this and this alone. So we'll have a little look. We've got drivers such as Eva Hunter, who are fantastic. Eva Hunter's made it 3 places already. Carrie's jumped up 7 places, obviously down to mistakes through Apex, Magnus and LH. Green Ace has also dropped down. I think he's coming to the pits. Quad Duty's dropped down 3 places. So Quad Duty's got a bit of a battle to do to get back into the points. Shipmeister's up 5, Ben Carter's up 4, Nismo up 6, Drew up 4, Eva Hunter up 3. So a lot of drivers are putting the effort to make moves. I'm expecting the safety car to, I did say this last lap, but I'm sure it's going to come in this lap. Unless those cars at the back is just too far away for our safety car to say it's safe. The one positive from F1 2020 online racing is that there is no red flag. The red flag is only used for life-threatening situations, such as severe damage to a safety wall, severe injury or collision with a driver. So these don't happen in esports because the barriers are fixed. They do not change, they do not break, and no driver gets injured. They walk away from every accident you can think of. So we are coming up to the end of lap 4, and we've had one half a competitive lap really from our drivers, and it has made big changes. Safety car is on this lap, so Rayner is going to make the best of this opportunity now. Slow down the pack, build the heat up in tyres. He has slowed it right down. He is focusing solely on getting the heat in his own tyres. A severe collision for a few of our drivers as they're slowing down. People need to anticipate the slowing down. That's where the issue is. They weren't anticipating the slowing down. So Rayner now setting up, ready to go. Round 10, and he's off. And he has already made a big, huge gap already to DB. DB was given a bit of breathing space for the tyre warm-up. And Evil Hunter is poised, ready for the make a move. Let's jump on board with Evil Hunter. Excuse me. So Evil Hunter is, and we've got Quad Duty is up in 7th already. Quad Duty and Magnus. Oh, this is fantastic drive by Quad Duty, who's pushed through a few 4 drivers. Magnus also pushing through some drivers there. Magnus in the high tech there, looking for the inside line of Ben Cardiff in his preferred Carling car. But the quick moves from Quad Duty to get up is fantastic. Cairo is slightly ahead of him. Cairo is looking at getting past Drew, and we've got Carter looking to get past, because Evil Hunter has made it past DB and Drew. So Carter and DB are battling. Let's stay on board with Carter as he's looking to get past DB, because we've got Drew right behind Drew. Almost, he had to brake a bit early in his Dan Tickman's car. Dan ticked him. It's one of those drivers that people love and hate. I think he's one of those drivers that you have to have in F2 because he is so he's got that entertainment value. Carter makes the move on DB and he makes it stick. Absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to drop down to Drew because Drew and Quadruti has made it past Ben Cardiff. Quadruti is looking to get past Drew and DB. So whether Drew will allow Quadruti to get past for team purposes will be quite interesting. Quadruti and Drew in the tunnel. So this is a three-way battle, and I can't see much battling going anywhere else apart from Apex moving in on Ben Cardiff. It's Apex and LH pushing through. I've got Magnus as well battling with LH. Magnus and LH have got a few battles going on there. This is getting quite interesting now. We've got coming up to the halfway sector of the race, and there are interesting battles going on. So here we go. I was just waiting to see whether, because Apex is now in 7th and LH is in 8th, so these make Drew is up past DB. And Quadruti looks like he's following suit. We got a comment from somebody saying interesting race. I do apologise. Your name is in a language I cannot read. I'm sorry. But yes, it is a very interesting race. Absolutely fantastic effort from our drivers today. Virtual safety car is out, so the Delta is out. Last time we've seen a virtual safety car, Rayners used this to the full capability and used it to get past someone. Timed it so well, and I would say that was the overtake of the race of the feature race. So drivers such as Drew and Quadruti will be halting their little on-track battle. Absolutely interesting. We've got Apex as well. Apex will be looking to make a move on DB. DB seems to be falling down. It's like, this is a long train here. You got Apex, LH and Magnus all waiting to get past DB. DB unfortunately starting in pole is now down to 6th, and I do feel sorry for the gentleman because he has put the effort in to get into 8th in the last race, and now it seems that all these drivers are getting past him quite quickly. And DB has got in the pit. I think that might be front wing damage, and if it is, that's the reason why he's been going slow. So that has put Apex in 6th, LH in 7th and Magnus in 8th for the point scoring positions. Let's see where the battles are, because we've got Quadruti and Drew's gone past. I think that might have been down to teamwork. The team has decided that Quadruti is a bit quicker, and Drew was obligedly allowed Quadruti to get through. So now the caps are opened up. We've got LH looking to get past Apex, and that is where our battle will be for 6th place. Apex, LH and Magnus all in that close-knit battle there. Apex has got Drew in his sights and is catching up slowly. It just makes, if he decides to battle with Drew, it might open the door for LH or Magnus to make a move in. Magnus seems to be dropping away from LH and Apex, but that could be an observation reason rather than a goes too slow. And Magnus has gone over the line, and Magnus 5-second penalty for cutting the corner. He did not make any attempt to make the chicane at all. He did not make any attempt to slow down to make sure he did not catch him. Rayners with new fast lap of 134.6. It does look like the circuit is drying out. Apexes have gone in the pit. Quite a few drivers have made stops. A few drivers, Nismo, Green Ace, Correct Savant, all on a soft tyre. Quite interesting to see Magnus and Apex in the pit right now. Putting on a soft tyre, it will make a massive difference. Will other drivers follow suit? We've got Ben Cardiff on a set of super soft tyres. This is very, very interesting indeed. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to observe Rayners' movement now, because Rayner will be thinking of making it. And Green Ace has retired from the race. Let's see. Green Ace has retired in the pits. Fair play to the gentleman if that's the reason why he's gone in the pits, because it is looking like the track is dried out quite a bit. Carter with a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Let's see how what Rayner decides to do. And he stays out. Has anybody else decided to go into the pits? I personally can't see exactly what's going on the track itself. Carter's gone into the pits. I think Carter's decided he's going to go and try and get onto a set of soft tyres. The quad duty can't open up the door, open up his throttle here. He has got 13 seconds in front of him, which means he could do the unovercut. 5-second penalty for Ben Carter for cutting a corner. Now that does look like it was down at the Nouvelle Chicane. A lot of drivers here are taking liberties on the circuit, so it is good that they are getting punished. And we've got LH who's jumped in the pits for a set of soft tyres. Now I do think this soft tyres is the tyre to go on now. Let's jump back on board with Rayner, because Rayner is coming up into the Nouvelle Chicane. Will he jump in the pits? Does he have a set of super soft tyres that he's able to jump on? Or will it be a set of soft tyres? And he's going out for another lap. I think Rayner might push it, as well as Eva Hunter. Let's have a look where Quad Duty stands with this, because the next driver that he would have to think about is Carter, because Carter is the next one down on the dry tyre, and Liam with a 10-second penalty for cutting the corner. But he has allowed all the other drivers to go back in front of him. So it's anticipating the front 4 drivers still on the wet tyres, and the circuit is drying out. We have Shiftmeister who's gone in the pits, and he's on a set of super soft tyres. Correct Savant has retired from the race. I think that might be in the pits, because I can't see a stopped car on the map. Rayner in the Nouvelle Chicane. He has got 5 laps left to go, including this one. So after this will be 4 laps. Is he able to hold off with these wet tyres? I do think that is quite possible. Such an amazing view, this. And yes, he is staying out, so I think that'll be Rayner throughout the whole race. And Evil Hunter is dived into the pits. Quad Duty, let's see where Quad Duty decides to go. And he's gone into the pits himself. So there is 3 laps left to go. No, sorry, 4 laps left to go. And Rayner has to start thinking whether his strategy of staying on the wet tyres is going to prevail. He has got 24 seconds behind him right now to the next driver. It is so interesting, this part of the race. It is so dry out there, these tyres will be on fire. I don't think I can get. Yeah, it doesn't show me anything regarding his tyre temperatures. But I can see that he is having to slow down a lot more. Let's take off the telemetry because we do not need it. But LH is all in a battle with Apex, so jump on board. Virtual safety car is out. And Rayner has stayed out. Ben Cardiff has DNF'd. Not too sure where that happened. But the safety car is out. Oh, sorry, the virtual safety car is on. This is all about the critical movements. We've got Drew with a drive-through penalty for speed under the virtual safety car, and we're back racing again with 3 laps to go. So Evil Hunter will need to be making epic steps. He needs to be making up 8 seconds a lap to be catching Rayner. Our battles will be Apex, Carter, Apex, LH and Magnus all battling out for that final podium position. I think I'll stay on Carter at the moment as these drivers are battling out behind them. Quite important for these drivers to make every effort they can possible to be making those points up. LH had a fantastic recovery drive from that early pit stop, as well as Quad Duty, Magnus and Apex. So these 4 drivers who all started further down has had an epic adventure to get back up. Carter with another 3-second penalty, and Ben Cardiff has left the session. He did already DNF, and Liam has DNF'd as well. Liam has DNF'd in the pits, I believe. So we are down to 11 drivers. Evil Hunter with the fastest lap of a 1:30.4. Evil Hunter is making all the efforts to close down Rayner. I am going to jump on board with Rayner, who is up at the Grand Hotel hairpin, and we've got Quadriti with the new fast lap of 1:24.7.1. It is an absolute epic drive, and Evil Hunter is only 8 seconds behind. Evil Hunter is closing down Rayner, and Rayner's got a lap and a half to go. Rayner looks like he's actually going on a go slow. Oh no, I actually think that Rayner might have actually... Oh, he's got a flat tyre. Oh no. Rayner's got a puncher. Yeah, as you can see, that tyre is all over the place. This is from having a 24-second gap where he could have easily pitted on a set of dry tyres. He is now having to pit, and he loses that pole position. Evil Hunter now leading the race for the first time today. and he has got acres of space behind onto Carter and Apex. Apex now in a critical moment where he will have to make every effort he can to stay in front. Because Coduty and well, Apex is actually so close to Carter as well. So this is a battle for second on the final lap. Absolutely eventful from like the last few laps whenever everybody's went to go onto the dry tyres, and it is leaving us with a three-way battle for second, third and fourth. Absolutely fantastic. But it's quite important because Apex has got the advantage here. Apex will actually inherit second regardless of what the situation is, because of the, I don't think they're going to make that much of a difference on time. And Apex closes the door on Coduty, making sure Coduty can't get past him. But these are the clear moments. Eva Hunter has finished with the fastest lap of 125.9. Absolutely outstanding race. Carter is next to cross the line. But Apex will inherit second due to penalties. So we've got Apex second, Coduty in third, Carter due to penalties is off the podium. Oh my goodness, that is unbelievable. We've got Nismo in fifth and Magnus in sixth at the moment, but these could change with penalties. Let's see how that goes. I think Magnus had a problem. Magnus with a 5-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. 5-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. And he spun. I think he's got no fuel left. And the worst part of it is Magnus. Let's have a look. Magnus is going to be dropping out of the points by the looks of it. Because LH is there. Rayners in 8th. And I think that was a battle there with low fuel at the end. Absolutely outstanding race from most of our drivers. I do feel sorry for Rayners, who lost it with a tie at the end. Nismo Maxwell for the driver of the day from Codemasters. I would have to give it to Eva Hunter, personally. Fantastic drive. I will go through positions again. Thank you all for listening in and joining us for another spectacular F2 event. My name is Ferret. I have been the commentator for Rayners for this session, and I will be here next week. We've got Eva Hunter, Apex, Coduty for our podium setters. Eva Hunter with the fastest lap as well. That was fantastic. Oh no, it wasn't. Yes, it was. Eva Hunter with the fastest lap. Even it showed it as Coduty's, but Eva Hunter with 125.9 is the fastest lap. Carter in 4th, Nismo in 5th, LH in 6th. We've got Magnus in 7th, and Rain at the final points in 8th. Got Drew, DB, Shiftmeister, Liam, Ben Cardiff, Quick Savant, Green Ace, and Carlo all following afterwards. The last 4 DNFing. Oh no, sorry, the last 5 DNFing. Shiftmeister and DB 1 lap behind. Drew was probably just short of a lap. It's unfortunate for these drivers. A lot of these drivers have missed out at the end there due to like low fuel. But a fantastic race nonetheless. So if we look at the points for the weekend, Coduty is in first, Eva Hunter in second, LH in third, Apex in fourth, Carter in fifth, Magnus in sixth, Rayners in seventh, and Nismo in eighth. So it's quite critical. You can see that a lot of points there going for our top 2 drivers. Absolutely epic race from all our drivers. So this was Rayners Racing League. This was round 7 and 8 of the F2 Sunday Night League. sponsored by Sim Racer Coin, and we will look forward to seeing you next week. Good night. Comments. Woo Apex. It was our last comment of the night by Shell. Shell is a big Apex fan. Fantastic to see that